Hello friends! In the European market, only a 2-liter unit was offered from gasoline. It was produced in two versions, naturally aspirated, FB20, and turbocharged, FA20. The first, developing 150 horsepower, a great engine for everyday trips. The dynamics are decent, 10.8 seconds to 100, and the consumption is not excessively high, an average of 10 liters per 100 kilometers. Subaru Forester with 2.0 turbo, 240 horsepower, will bring a lot of driving pleasure, as acceleration will satisfy many, from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 7.5 seconds. But you can't count on low fuel consumption. On a suburban highway, the appetite of the engine is at the level of 10 liters, and in the city, 14 to 15 liters. This is not only a consequence of the high power, but also the effect of using the standard lineatronic transmission, CVT. All gasoline units received a reliable timing chain drive. Unfortunately, in pre-styling samples, 12 to 14 years of production, the FB series engines, FB20 2.0 and FB25 2.5, after 100 to 150,000 kilometers begin to consume a lot of oil. It's all about the unsuccessful design of oil scraper rings that lie. Problems with the diesel engine are gone. The motor has been improved. Yes, with high mileage there are equipment problems, but they are found in almost all modern diesel engines. The main thing is that the clutch and dual mass flywheel malfunctions that bothered the owners of the third Forester are not observed in principle. Cases of excessive increase in the axial clearance of the crankshaft or turning of the liners have also ceased. At present, turbodiesel is mainly pestered only by problems with attachments. The pipe connecting the turbocharger to the intercooler breaks pretty quickly. The pipe that connects the intercooler to the throttle does not differ in durability. With high mileage, questions arise for the EGR and DPF. However, turbodiesel is expensive to repair. If something breaks, then the cost of restoration will be high. As for the variator, there are no serious problems with these boxes yet. The CVT transmission can even withstand rough handling at times. But renovations happen. Solenoids usually fail. The winding burns out after 80 to 120,000 kilometers. More often, you have to change the one that controls the clutch for connecting the rear axle, and there are 6 of them in total. Atmospheric engines were paired with a TR580 CVT, and a 2-liter turbo engine was paired with a TR690. In pre-styling XTs, turbocharged versions, the variator often leaked. A reseal of the pump covers was required. To solve the problem, it is necessary to dismantle the box. If the machine is operated in difficult conditions, then it is better to reduce the oil change interval in the variator from 60 to 40,000 kilometers. In addition, you need to use a special oil. At the same time, it is worth noting positively not only the endurance of the CVT, but also its work. The drive is implemented using a wedge chain. The box has 6 virtual gears, and the response to commands lasts no longer than 100 milliseconds. The range of gear ratios is wide and is 6.28, which allows you to effectively use the engine torque. All-wheel drive is still the strong point of the model. Traction along the axles is distributed using an interaxial differential, automatically locked, which is effective in difficult conditions. It should also be noted that in the version with the CVT box, the X-mode system assists in the field. It changes the characteristics of the engine, the variator, and activates, for example, the hill descent assistance system. In petrol versions, you can count on the SI drive system, which adapts the engine and transmission to the reactions to the accelerator pedal according to the preferences of the driver. In atmospheric 2.0, it has 2 modes of operation, and in turbocharged, 3. All-wheel drive transmission elements usually do not fail. When changing the oil in the front differential, inexperienced mechanics could mistakenly pour fresh fluid into the CVT. If for the variator this situation is not catastrophic, then for the front gearbox it is fatal. A ridiculous mistake is typical for cars with atmospheric engines due to the location of the filler holes in the TR580 variator. In terms of ride quality, only the poor steering precision leaves a fine sediment, and the suspension work could be a little more refined. The silent blocks of the front levers often had to be changed for another 50 to 90,000 kilometers. In the rear suspension, the floating silent block is the first to surrender. It can creak after 80 to 120,000 kilometers. A similar resource is for the ball joint of the front arm. The rear wheel bearings quickly become unusable after 60 to 100,000 kilometers. The front bearings are more tenacious. They run over 100 to 150,000 kilometers. Do not differ in durability and external CV joints. The hinge of the left drive shaft is more often surrendered after 80 to 140,000 kilometers. The inner CV joint can capitulate, vibrations appear after 150 to 250,000 kilometers. By this time, the steering rack may knock. The front shock absorbers will last over 120 to 140,000 kilometers. The rears go even longer. A number of machines were equipped with optional self-leveling rear shock absorbers. They can give up after 140 to 180,000 kilometers. All body parts are galvanized as an additional measure of corrosion protection, with the exception of the hood and roof. Unfortunately, on specimens older than 3 to 6 years, small pockets of corrosion, paint swelling, can already be found on the tailgate and on the door glass frames, in places of metal overlap. The stock loop is updated after 120 to 140,000 kilometers. With age, the stove motor may make noise. Some manage to calm him down after disassembly and cleaning. In the restyled samples of 2016 to 2017, the factory radiator of the air conditioner could leak after 3 to 4 years of operation. If you know of other model malfunctions, be sure to write about it.